of them, to the left of them, behind them, above them, below them. Means from every direction he's going to keep mounting an attack. And then they teach us that when you truly believe that you are constantly under attack, and you take a path of humility, that I'm constantly under attack, and that at every moment they are trying to take me down, and I have to use everything within me to lift myself back up. That my love of the Divine, love of the Prophets, love of the Saints, love of everything holy, because the love of holiness is the winning team that brings tremendous amount of support, so that I'm not playing the game alone. And they begin to inspire within our lives that when you're humble enough to see how you're under attack, then they say that who knows himself will know his Lord. The holy hadith of Prophet ﷺ, who knows himself will know his Lord. And we've said before that once you begin to acknowledge yourself that this is the game that I'm in, I begin to analyze myself. Because it's much easier to analyze other people and other places and be critical of other things other than the self. And that's the big distraction that shaitan is busy with. That shaitan comes to make us busy analyzing everything other than ourselves. What's this, what's that, what's this, what's that, constant analyzing, critiquing, judging every possible thing other than myself. Because that he doesn't want me to look at, because he's making me to lose. I'm now running in the wrong direction. I'm not running to score a goal, I'm actually now being under his playing. He's playing with me like the football. So as soon as Prophet ﷺ described that you have to know yourself, it means take a path of constantly analyzing yourself. Look in the mirror and say, why is it that I don't follow the way of the Prophet? Why is it that I don't have my head covered? Why is it that I don't have a beard? Why is it I don't dress in the clothes of modesty? Why is it that I don't have a siwak? Why is it that I don't have a ring? Why is it that I don't have a asa? Why is it that I don't wear a jubba? Why is it that I don't read Holy Qur'an, follow holy books? Why? To understand how far we are from the direction and the example of the prophetic reality. Because that is the winning team. That they are the suits of armor. There's a wisdom in their clothing. There's a wisdom in their ring. There's a wisdom in their hat. There's a wisdom in their asa. There's a wisdom in their siwak. Even the tooth stick. It's a grounding from energy. The Prophet ﷺ's dua on the siwak was that to take away nifaq and the hidden shirk. And it wasn't for clean teeth. The Prophet ﷺ was teaching there's a stick that takes away negative energy. Because he knows that the energy coming through the mouth is going to affect the heart. It means everything in the way of the prophetic example, the sunnah of Sayyidina Muhammad is a tremendous reality. So that's why the shaykhs, they are a pillar of understanding. They are a symbol of guidance. That when you look to them, that is what we want to move towards. That is the symbol of haqq. Because everybody says they know what the truth is, but they are the prophetic symbol of truth, because they witness that truth, they dress, they breathe, they eat, they drink, they act in accordance with that truth that they're witnessing. Anything you witness, you should be dressed with. If you're witnessing something at the level of reality and you're not changing, you're not witnessing and you're lying. How can you witness the truth day after day after day but not move towards it? It's impossible. It's like somebody tell you, I'm sun tanning, but yet they have no tan. And the effect of that sun is not real on you. It is not coloring you and not dressing you. That's why then the guides and the shaykhs and the teachers, the ulama, they are inheritors of the prophetic dress and the prophetic reality. They are a symbol of the divinely truth. That this is the hero, this is the example, and this is the direction in which we move. So then the path is, I take a path of humility to acknowledge myself and my weaknesses, and that I'm constantly under bombardment, and that is the symbol of truth. So not only the physical symbol, then they pray, they fast, they do all sorts of the mandatory have to do, but then their whole lives are the voluntary worshipness, that they live a life in service. They serve, they start centers and masjids and circles of zikr, and they serve Prophet ﷺ, they serve Allah Azza wa Jal. They lead a life of service. Not only they made their 5 prayers, but they live a life in prayer and zikr and worshipness and fasting and serving Allah's creation and opening the doors towards the prophetic love. So again, everything about them is a symbol of struggle, is a symbol of divinely truth, because it's a shadow of a haqq. When we want to know what haqq, that they become the symbol of Allah Azza wa Jal's truth, the symbol of the prophetic light. They are the inheritors of that prophetic light, reflection of that reality. But when I'm true to myself, humble with myself, and I look at them and I look at me, that should be my isharat, my instruction of where I'm coming short. But what shaitan does? Critique and not critique myself. Then we know we're under the influence of Satan. That's what they want us to know. Do you understand that you're under the influence of Satan? When you look at the haqq and you can only critique it instead of you. Humble souls, pious souls, they critique themselves endlessly. They look at every symbol of that truth, all the different ulama, and look and say, I should be doing that, I should be doing that, I should be doing that. And then they go to themselves, shame on myself, that I have lost myself, I have fallen, that I have betrayed my trust, I have fallen to what I promised Allah Azza wa Jal. I mean, constantly coming against themselves in difficulty with difficulty, and constantly begging that Allah Azza wa Jal put them into divinely service and allow them to be of service. But they teach us that the way of truth is to look at that symbol and not to critique it, but to critique myself. Why is it that I can't follow that way? Why is it that I can't look like that? Why is it that I can't dress like that? Why is it that I can't attend that zikr? And then they begin to change our whole perspective of life. Why? Because there are issues that you're not willing to struggle for. It's not easy to live a life struggling in Allah's way. It's not easy to live a life that doesn't conform to everything. And that is the struggle that Allah Azza wa Jal wants. Not that you surrender. Everything in this world is about surrendering the truth and compromising your belief. And Allah Azza wa Jal said, I didn't send you into Satan's territory to surrender and to compromise your belief. Territory, Satan's territory is this entire earth. It was sent down. This is the abode of difficulty. It's not about compromising everything we believe. It's not about compromising my belief. It's about struggling to do better every day. Don't have to do everything perfectly, but why the Shaykh is the symbol, just like children who have pictures of rock stars or rap stars or basketball stars, which are the worst of examples. The worst of example to follow. They become the symbol of what's truth. That I want to look like that, I want to be like that, I want to pray like that, I want to do zikr like that, I want to have a life in service like that. And that becomes the symbol of truth. And that every day I should wake up and critique myself. And then they begin to teach when we have that type of outlook, that where am I coming short and how am I under influence, only through that door of humility Allah will begin to invite us towards reality. Because if you're not humble, you think coming to zikr is a big gift from you. Oh, I came to zikr, oh, I did really good thing. I came to zikr and I ate all their food. This big gift. I did that community a big gift. I came, I ate their food. No, this wasn't the gift. The gift was God allowed you to mention His name. And Surah An-Nur, Allah says, we allowed our name to be mentioned. Means if Allah, if God doesn't allow you to mention His name, He will lock your tongue and say, don't even mention my name. I'm not happy with you to mention my name. It's a gift. It's not my cleverness. It's not my sharpness. Everything is Allah's ni'mah. He allows you to read His Holy Quran. He allows you to make your prayer. He allows you to come to mention His holy name and recite praises upon His beloved Prophet. It's all Allah's ni'mah. Allah gives that gift, but we have to be humble to see it. So they change the whole story of our life. Because our life is based on arrogance, listening to shaitan. Oh, I did so many good things. I did this, I did that, I prayed like this, I prayed my fajr, I did my zikr. Even the salat al-fajr is an invitation from Allah. It's not your cleverness. When you don't wake up and pray fajr, Allah didn't invite you for that salah. That's a big and a scary and a sad understanding. Not that, oh, I didn't feel, Ya Rabbi, to pray to you today in the morning, I was late. No. They change everything. That no, Allah didn't invite you to that prayer this morning. For when Allah loves you and pleased with you, He makes you to get up and to remember Him. He's calling you in His divinely presence, and even if your body has to ache and everything has to shake, you will be up for that association and for that meeting. But if Allah is not pleased, He said, let the servant sleep. I'm not interested in hearing from him or her. So they change how we look at things. Not from our cleverness, not from our arrogance, not from our bad characteristic, but through the door of humility. Ya Rabbi, when is your invitation coming? I'm witnessing and realizing I'm not praying, I'm not making zikr, I'm not doing my fasting, I'm not doing my zakah, I'm not doing the things that I should be doing, that you're not pleased with me. If you're not pleased with me, what am I going to do? What am I going to do in your eternal presence? If you're not pleased with me in this world, what do you think Allah is going to do with you in the grave? Anyone who doesn't believe azab of the grave, just go through pain. Say, Ya Rabbi, I don't believe azab of the grave. Send me pain. Why shaitan doesn't want us to have pain in this world? Because as soon as you have pain, you know the punishment of hell is very true. If you have a pain that can't go away with medicine, that can go away with nothing, and you can spend all night crying unto your Lord and no relief comes, and the only thing you can remember in your heart is God's punishment is true. That if He has an anger, He has an issue, and that issue is not resolved, He can create such a difficulty and such a torment that is unimaginable. And we know it by pain in the material world. If you can experience pain in the physical world, what do you think the pain of the grave is? That no one to call out, Allah's not happy with the account. Nothing to do. Means He makes faith to be so real and the understanding to be so real that you carry pain and understand pain as a symbol of the azab in the grave. That Allah says, yes, and only through praying to me, only through crying to me, relieve me from that distress. relieve me from that affliction. And then all our life is based on that humility. Ya Rabbi, don't let me to be under affliction. Don't let me to be under azab in the world, physical world, and more important, in the qab and in the world of light and in the grave. Then our whole perspective is changed. Allah allows you to be of service. If you complain too much, He closes the door of service and asks somebody else to serve. We've seen it in our own life. Even they ask you to host the Shaykh. If you complain too much about it, Allah will switch and have somebody else. Allah don't change a people until they change what's within themselves. If they don't change what's within themselves, no change coming to them, Allah will exchange for someone else. Everything in our way is Allah's ni'mat. Allah allows us to come and clean. Don't clean, doesn't matter. They don't care. You think the mosque will close? No, they throw you out and 10 more people will be here because there are 10 new faces here. And 10 we haven't seen for a while. They're not short. There's no shortage of people, but there's only a shortage of space. That in our lives we understand everything they ask from us, Allah is giving us an opportunity. You pray, you serve, you bring food, you do whatever you have to do. That is my gift to you. And the reward of that gift, I allow you to mention my name and praise me in that association, because the circles, the hadith of the circles of zikr is a circle of paradise. It didn't say the masjid is a paradise, that your salah was a paradise or your zakah was a paradise. Prophet ﷺ's hadith is that the circle of zikr is a circle of paradise, where angels circumambulate the circle to up to Arsh al-Rahman, to the throne of Rahman. It means it's a gift from paradise. So much so that Allah Prophet ﷺ described in the hadith that, Ya Rabbi, after the whole long hadith of all the blessings that Allah is going to give to that circle of zikr, the angels came and complained that there's one who sits amongst them is not from them. And Allah says, no, that's such a holy association, you give him even he's not from them. Dress him from that reality. So it means the gift of our life, when Allah is happy with us, He allows us to come and mention His name. He allows us to pray and pray our Fajr prayer, the morning prayer where He's closest to the servant, closer than the jugular vein. He allows us to recite from His holy kitab, and He allows us to praise upon His most beloved in all of creation, the prophetic reality and the reality of Sayyidina Muhammad. Means that is a gift and a reminder to ourselves that everything is a gift from Allah. We pray that Allah be happy with us, that Allah be tolerant with us, that Allah inspire us to be more of service and not to exchange us with anyone else. Ya Rabbi, at any time He can be fed up and say, enough, you out, someone else in, and see what that one can do to improve the situation. Our whole lives we're asking to be of service. We're asking to serve in whatever capacity we can. If there is difficulty coming and Prophet ﷺ wants something to be carried, a difficulty to be carried, then the highest honor is to be of service. Our whole life is asking to be of service, and only through that service we may feel that we can sit at that divinely table in the presence of all the Prophets. Otherwise we're going to sit at their table and say, what we did in our lives? Nothing. So then they come and teach us, live a life of service. So Ya Rabbi, my Lord, let me to be of service, let me to serve your prophetic kingdom, let me to serve your divinely kingdom, and grant me a life of service. Even I serve with my money, with my wealth, with my physicality, or with my health. Because even the energy has to be carried. Even the burden of energy has to be carried. That negative energy has to be carried, has to be processed, so that energy doesn't move towards Prophet ﷺ. Everything has a weight, everything has a burden, everything has a responsibility. We pray that Allah grant us more and more understanding, more and more light, in the holy month of Rajab starting inshaAllah next week, then the holy month of Sha'ban and the holy month of Ramadan. بحرمة محمد المصطفى وبسير سورة الفاتحة.